Did you know you can lose money in a mutual fund and still owe tax? In his amazing book, Tax-Free Wealth, CPA Tom Wheelwright explains how mutual funds are one of the few places you can actually lose money and still owe tax. So how does this happen? If every investor entered the mutual fund at the same time, this would not be a problem. But we all know that is not how it works. Investors constantly trade in and out of mutual funds that have been around for a long time. The problem shows up when a mutual fund sells a stock inside the fund. Let's assume you purchased shares of a mutual fund in January. Also assume this mutual fund had purchased stock B for $10 per share 15 years before you invested in the fund. The day after you invest, the mutual fund sells stock B for $50 per share, resulting in a $40 per share gain. The fund now owes tax on the $40 per share gain, which ultimately is passed on to all investors currently in the mutual fund. This includes you, even though you've only been in the fund for one day. But as Tom Wheelwright explains, it gets worse. Suppose you paid $100 per share when you first invested in the fund in January. By the end of the year, the stock market is in a dip, making your mutual fund shares worth only $80 per share. Here again, as a current investor in the mutual fund, your share of the tax from the gain will be passed to you due to the mutual fund selling stock B. Yes, even though you were not around when the fund purchased stock B for a much lower amount, and your overall mutual fund share price is now worth 20% less. Meanwhile, the fund managers, brokers, and everyone else inside the Wall Street machinery remain unaffected and still collect their fees. One more example of heads they win and tails we lose. Paying tax is never fun, but being taxed on your losses is so much worse. As is often said, when we want better answers, we should ask better questions. Paying tax is a choice, and reading Tom's book, Tax-Free Wealth, will illustrate how you can quit giving away 1/3 of what you make. Code3assets.com is packed full of free resource recommendations like Tax-Free Wealth. You will also find tons of other resources to help you eliminate taxes and increase cash flow. Your future self will thank you for checking out Code3assets.com today.